Hey, I want to let you in on a little secret that we normally charge money for, but I want you to listen in as a faithful listener. I want you to have access to this. Steven and I have been doing our Rainmaker challenge for years, and we did something on this last challenge that we've never done before. We brought in a guest speaker that you are going to get to hear from in just a second. You get to come in and be like a fly on the wall. This is coming from day 6 of our Rainmaker challenge. Get your notes ready because the speaker drops some gold. I am so excited to bring her on in just a second. She has built a multi-million-dollar business. She is a mama. And more than anything that when I remember the first time I heard her speak, and she was speaking on a stage in front of thousands of people, and she just brought so much hope. Like I think I was in tears listening to her speak. And every time I have heard her speak, I want to lean in. You know, when you have those people that you see and you're just like, wow, this is just like resonating with my heart. This is like the confidence that I need, and you lean in. I feel like today we're going to have people like sitting here watching this, leaning in as we hear her speak and breathe life into you as she is brought into my life. I feel like every opportunity that I hear, I want to like, ooh, I want to hear what she has
Yes.
to say because it raises my hope. It shows me what is possible. And she has been on this incredible journey. She is a mom, and she has believes in putting in the hard work so that you can reap and you can like have the business that you've always desired. And so today I'm so honored to have her here. So will you guys help me in the comments, drop some love? I want to welcome Jaime Cross.
What's up, Jamie?
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. Rainmakers, you guys are amazing. You're doing awesome. Thank you so much.
Jamie, we're so stoked to have you here. Because like to say, I mean, we've seen you on stages in front of thousands, and now you get to speak to our community. Like this is such an honor because we love to bring on people not only that resonate with our community. Like I feel like they can see themselves in your story, and we're going to hear your story today. But also, like we don't bring anyone on the stage that doesn't carry what we call authority, right?
Mhm.
And authority is not just like knowing about the thing; it's like you've gone through the thing. It's not like I can tell you about the jungle. It's like I took the machete through the jungle and I made a pathway, and now I can show you that pathway, right? So, Damon, you just like exude that authority, especially in this e-commerce realm, inventory businesses, being a mom, being an entrepreneur, like the ups and the downs, and building a team, and all the things. And so, we wanted to start really with rewinding it back because some of these people, like yesterday was the Rainmaker birthday, the Rainmaker anniversary. We had to mark it in their calendar, and they might look back on this and be like, "Wow, that was when everything started to shift." But when you started this business, I don't know if like that money wall, like this is what we're talking about today. Did that come up for you early in the early days of your business? Like back, I don't know, like bring people to the back to the beginning. And do you remember that those mindsets that you're having to overcome at that very beginning stages?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my story really started back in 2010. So I've been in business now for 13 years, and I was where I think so many, especially mothers, but so many families are at where Nathan was working all the time. He was teaching, he was coaching, he had side jobs, and we were just struggling financially, but even more than that, in my own soul, I had given up, I had left corporate. I was a banker in finance and investment and all that stuff. And 2.5 years into full time motherhood, I came home to be a full time mom. And so gave up the salary and gave up all of that. And I realized 2.5 years in, I really need to build something. Not only do I want to help fix the money problem that is in our family, but I want to leave a legacy and do something powerful and change the world. And so I remember one particular week, Nathan coming home from his job and coaching. I mean, it's tiring. And he's very much an introvert. And he had this $25 ice cream card, gift card. So he said, I'm going to go take this gift card down to the local ice cream shop and try to sell it for half of what it's worth so that we can have some gas money this week. $12.50. We were desperate for $12.50. And I remember thinking, this isn't what we said we were going to do when we got married. We said we were going to like do great things. And, you know, I know every one of you can can say this, that it's impossible to really change the world if you can't pay your utility bills, if you're
Mhm.
struggling day by day. And so I just one night, bawling my eyes out, just went into my room and cried my eyes out and cried out to God. And I said, God, show me $1 billion. I still get emotional. I've told this story 1,000 times. Show me $1 billion idea so that I can change the world and leave a legacy for my family. And we went to church on Sunday. Our pastor stops his sermon in the middle of his message and he said, hey, this has never happened to me before, but the Lord just spoke to my heart and said that there's a stay at home mom here who he wants to give $1 billion idea to. So get ready for it. Um,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I just was like, "Lord, pick me. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it, and whatever you give me, I'll be faithful with it." And when I started, I had the perspective and the mindset that you had to be a special kind of person to be wealthy. I had all kinds of money mindset issues. We didn't have money to start a business, and so I had to get really scrappy, and I didn't know how to make soap. I didn't know how to make skincare. I woke up and told my husband, "I'm gonna start a skincare company." So I studied chemistry for a year, just got into the thick of it and um, was able to make my first batch of soap, which cost us everything that we had at that point to like buy the materials, to make the product. And all I knew how to do really after that was sell. And so I took my two babies by that time. And my mom helped me just drive up and down the streets of Denver and Colorado Springs. And I was walking into stores, talking to owners, talking to buyers, slinging soap on the streets, at $2 a bar. And from there, we did farmers markets for 4 years. And then in 2017, 7 years after we started, I knew it was time to grow. And I cracked the code on digital marketing. And there's a whole story there. But um, after all the journey of just figuring things out, we went from 0 to 130,000 in 6 weeks,
Wow.
million in less than 6 months, and we crossed the eight-figure mark in less than 2.5 years from that time. Um, so I could go so deep into so many different mindsets. I watched my dad be a business owner and go bankrupt 3 times, and so I had to figure out, like, what's it gonna take to build something and not only become successful, but hold on to success and become resourceful like what you're talking about.
Yeah. I want to like kind of point something out there. You said it briefly, but I think it's such a powerful moment because I see this in so many successful entrepreneurs. Is almost like a moment of being willing to like risk it all, you know? And when
Mhm.
you said when you made that first batch of soap, you put everything into it. You
Mhm.
know, it was like probably the biggest investment that you've done in yourself, right? At that
Mhm.
point. Like,
Mhm.
how was your mindset in that? Like, was there a fear wall you had to get through? Like, that's a scary thing to
Mhm.
go like, "I'm gonna put money into a product and hope that it sells."
Yeah. Well, here's the crazy thing is I didn't have what all of your rainmakers have right now. I didn't have a roadmap or a mentor, which is what you guys are providing. You guys are mentoring. You've already proven the model. I didn't have any of that. But what I did have was I knew that I was in a market that people were buying from. Everybody uses soap. I kept saying that, like, how can I lose? Everybody needs this product. And all I have to do is put in the work. And so I
Mhm.
created my own roadmap. But um
Wow.
the risk was looking at myself 80 years from now saying, "What if I had just gone all in?" The next 5 years of my life, the next 12 months of my life is gonna go by whether I go all in or not. Where do I
Mhm.
wanna be a year from now? And am I willing to just the risk of mediocrity and the risk of staying where I was far less than the risk of me actually going for it and building something. And we live in a country where you can build anything and make money. You can do anything. And this by far, Amazon is the most powerful model. We didn't start doing Amazon until we got into e-com digital. And that was a huge game changer for us with our products,
Wow.
was doing Amazon.
Wow.
That's
That's so
amazing.
cool.
I would love to know, like, Nathan, your husband, was he always on board, or what was that process like when you're like, I have an idea, you know,
Yeah.
nothing, and then, building this thing. And I know he's very much involved now, but what was
Yeah.
that like early days?
Now, one of my first goals was I want to hire my mom because my mom was a single mom most of my life and I want to take care of her and I want to retire Nathan from teaching and coaching so that we can work full time together. And one of the very first things we did was we sat down and we had to get on same page. We had same page conversations for years. We still have them as the business grows, as things shift, and there's all kinds of challenges in building a business. We always had to sit down, and in the very beginning, I remember sharing, "Here's my vision. Here's where I think I can take it." And we agreed as a family that we were going to be entrepreneurs, that entrepreneurship was the path that we were going to take because we knew it would provide us with choices and it would overwhelm all of our problems with income. And we wanted to be able to do amazing things without ever being the ones who were in need. We wanted to be the need meters. We wanted to be the ones writing checks for orphans and human trafficking. And so we agreed that the model of entrepreneurship was the direction we wanted to go. And so we always had to come back to that conversation when things got hard or when we had put every last dollar of our tax return or put money on a credit card or whatever it is that we were doing, because there's always investment before reward. It always
Mhm.
happens that way. That's just the law of sowing and reaping. You have to sow something first in order to reap a harvest. And too many people are looking for this great harvest without putting in the work, without putting the
Mhm.
time and the resources, the money that it takes to get there. And so we start where we with what we have and sometimes going beyond with what we have and using what's around us and being resourceful. But absolutely like getting Nathan on board, and there were times that we would have heated conversations because, like, it took us, it took us a lot of time to really get to the point where we were cranking to the point where he could come home and every dollar. I mean, we didn't go on vacations for years. We didn't do a lot of things that a lot of our friends were doing. We didn't buy new cars. We were putting every dollar we had into our business. But now we have an 8-figure business and we're traveling all the time. And so we put in the work, we front loaded the hustle and the time and the energy and it's paid off. And it always will. It's just the law of sowing and reaping.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
I love the way that I mean, it is true. Like, that is just the law of like sowing and reaping. You have to like sow before you can reap. And too many people, I see that too. They want the money quickly and they're not willing to do their work, or they think that it'll just magically happen in front of them. And I think that's one thing I've always appreciated about you, Jamie, is like, you just bring it in of like, no, you have to do the work. Like, you have to like make this happen, and doing the work will create that change. And so
Yeah.
I just want to like honor you for that, because that's like your messaging. Every time I hear you on your podcast and you're speaking, I'm like, this is so good. Like, I wish every single woman could hear this message because it's so important.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm, thank you.
I think of you a lot, Jamie, when we are going through the farmers markets. We go on Saturday mornings, usually at this time where we're walking through the farmers market. And I remember when we were in the wedding industry, we would go do like wedding shows and like same kind of thing. You have to set up a booth and like all this. It's just like so much effort. And so I just, I love that you're going more to Amazon now because like, this stuff was not really even like, we didn't have the data. We didn't have the software and all the things
Mhm.
that we have now back then. So that was really the pathway. It was like, hey, like farmers market, where can you find traffic? Farmers market, right?
Mhm.
And so I love that you have like made that shift though into the digital landscape. And really that's taken the business to the next level. And really one of the big things we hammer into people's mindsets in this challenge is the concept of leverage, like having
Mhm.
leverage. And the internet is leverage, having Amazon's leverage, using fulfillment centers leverage, right?
Mhm.
So why for you is leverage so important, especially as a mom, as an entrepreneur, with a marriage, like how is leverage been beneficial in your life?
Oh man, if I could show you, like I wish I had had a videographer just following me around for those first years before we really had the internet, before we had Amazon and all the things that we have today that are leveraged is so much of my time and energy went into doing all of the things. And I remember it was whether it was nap time, nursing babies at 2 o'clock in the morning, even sometimes just setting them up at a playtime and sitting with my laptop while they're playing, like, there was a
Wow.
whole season where the sacrifice was, of course, greater than the reward, but now with leverage, being able to leverage a team, being able to leverage the internet means that I've been able to buy my time back and provide us with more choices. The things that we're doing now, not only in our own family and just living this life that we always dreamt we'd live, but the kind of impact we're making, being able to give, what it would have taken Nathan 50 years in a full-time teaching salary, we've been able to give away to human trafficking,
Wow.
with one check,
Wow.
and, that is leverage. It's buying your time back, and you'll never get it by, working a full-time job. You won't get it to me, Amazon and what you guys are doing is the ultimate leverage. You have the roadmap, the systems, all the software, and it's just proven. So how can you not win?
Mm.
That's epic. I love it. And I've been loving geeking out with you. Like I know we've been looking at Amazon for new brands that you guys are cooking up and things like that. And it's so fun to see, especially when people like you we get to work with because like you have even like you've done it before. And so you see like we can talk like about these crazy high keywords and like ones that, our Rainmakers probably work their way up to that, but it's just fun to see. And I'm so excited to
Mhm.
see what you do on Amazon this next season.
Mhm.
Jamie, I feel like what I'm sensing is like what would you speak? We kind of find that we have three types of mamas in our room. We call her the hustle mama. She's working the 9 to 5 job. She's like,
Mhm.
she's a nurse. She really wants to be home with her kids. She's making okay money, but time freedom's not there, right? We got
Mhm.
stuck mama, or sorry, we have the box mama over here. She got a lot of time freedom, okay? But she doesn't have as much income coming in. She's with the kids, she's homeschooling, she's doing that, but she's just like made, she's like, I'm made for more. I want to do all these things. But she's like kind of in this box of mom, for a season. And
Mhm.
then we have like our stuck mama, and she's really like she's working 3 jobs. She's has not very much time freedom, not very much financial freedom. She's really stuck. What would you speak to these moms? Like these are really the three people in this room, and we're like trying to go, hey, here's a pathway to be a rainmaker mama, right? Here's a pathway to have
Mhm.
financial freedom, time freedom, leave a thriving family legacy. But that process is not just a straight line. It is a
Mhm.
transformative
Yeah.
process. So if you could speak to a mom who's in that kind of just like, this is my transformation day. This is
Mhm.
my transformation week. I'm feeling momentum like never before. Like, what type of life would you speak into them this week?
Oh, I love that question. It makes me emotional. I remember where I was. Man, gosh, I know how it feels to be struggling in your soul, to want something so bad, and to see the people like making the impact and thinking, how can I do that? And can I do that? Do I have what it takes? And is this going to work for me? And what I had to do was I had to sometimes just shut off my brain and just say, I know that if I do the work, the results are going to be there because you can't fail if you keep going. And your situation is going to stay the same unless you do something different, right? All of us, for those of us that have been maybe doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, or maybe trying here and trying there, I just would encourage every one of you to realize that, again, the next 12 months of your life is going to go by and there's never going to be more time. There's never going to be more money. You're never going to have more energy than what you have right now. Everything is pretty much, and I don't want to sound like I'm here to give you hope, but if you don't do something different, then what? And and that was my thing was, man, if we keep going the way we're going right now, we're never going to accomplish our dreams. And so being able to just being willing to jump in fully and know that that everything that you've dreamt about is there for a reason. I always tell women that dream is not meant to be set aside. It's not meant to be on the back burner or on the shelf. Not meant to be, figured out once the kids are older or when you have more money in the bank or when you and your husband agree more or when now is the time and the results will be there. And what I love about what you guys are doing, you and, Stephen and Chelsea, is that you have this proven model and it's not going to take you 7 years like it took me to really get that big breakthrough. It was a very long process for me to go from where we were to where we really needed to be and where we really wanted to be. I didn't have this kind of an opportunity in the early days. But what you see, write your vision down. Without a vision, the people perish. And too many women today are perishing in their homes. Their
Mhm.
dreams are dying. Women are struggling with depression. They're
Yeah.
struggling in their souls more than ever and the thing is, you can have both. You can be full time mom and an entrepreneur. And that's
Yeah.
my eldest, who was there in the back seat, driving around with me when I was slinging
Sure.
$60. He now, and he's going door to door selling soap. You
That's
know, our boys have been a part of it. We brought them into the journey, and you can involve your kids. It can be part of their homeschooling. We homeschool all 5 of our boys, and they're involved. And entrepreneurship is, like, in my opinion, the number one way to train your kids in everything from math to grammar. So just keep going and go all in. And your family deserves to see you work hard. They deserve to see you win, and they need to see you actually go after your dreams. Be a legacy maker as much as you are a rainmaker. Go out there and change the trajectory of your family. And women, you moms, you hold the keys to breakthrough in your family. That's just the reality of it.
Mhm. I'm like sitting here and here's do you guys understand why I wanted to bring Jamie on? Because every time I'm like, oh
uh,
gosh, I'll be listening to her in the car, sharing something, or I'll remember a time that I heard Jamie say something, and it just brings tears to my eyes because it's like this is like truth, and I see it too. Like I'm a young mom, and I see like almost weekly I'm in random Facebook groups and I see moms just like their souls are like dying, and I just like you want something more, especially when you've experienced like breakthrough and you have a proven model and you have a path and um you just know that like man we're just created for more. We're created to like have success and have the dreams in our heart. Like I don't believe that those dreams and those desires are for nothing for you to pretend like maybe they'll happen. It's like no, those are placed inside of you to make them happen, to experience that now, to experience that in this life. So thank you, Jamie, for sharing that. And yeah, you're just making me emotional. It's so good.
Jamie, this has been like so amazing. Any parting words for these people? And then before you go, I want you to tell people like if they want to connect with you online, hear more of your voice. I think it'd be fun to just plug your social or podcast or whatever you want here so people can just connect with you more too. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Her Effect is my podcast, and I'm on social on Instagram, and those are probably the 2 best places to find me, find us.
Awesome. Jamie, thank you so much. Like this is like really, I think, like it's called our people up, like we don't
Mm,
want to call people out, but we call them up. And I
Yeah.
remember, I remember I had a mentor in my life and he really saw something in me one time and I wasn't wanting to do it. And there was a moment where he actually just like put his hand on my chest kind of forcefully. And he just spoke into me and he was just like, I see this in you. I see this in you. And I never really had someone do that to me. And so I want to just call you up. If you're watching this call and this is resonating with you and you have dreams in your heart, like we just want to say, like, you can do this. You
mhm.
can do this. We got the pathway into mastermind. If you don't want to do the mastermind, that's okay. Like, I just want to tell you, like, you got this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And so, like, just keep going. Just
Amen.
keep going. Just like ask, like, what am I supposed to do today? And do that. And just do it every day. Come
That's
on.
right.
Yeah,
Just put in
come
the
on.
work.
It's like, come
Yes.
on, you guys got this, okay? And
Yeah.
so just from father, like to speaking to you, like I just want to say, like, you are capable, you are worthy, you got this, you have everything you need. And
Mhm.
so thank you, Jamie, for just like partnering with that spirit of just encouragement for these families today. So thank you for being
Yeah.
here.
Thank you,
Thank
Jamie.
you for having me. I love you guys. I love all you rainmakers. I just hear more stories that are going to come out of this.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And when this next brand launches on Amazon, Jamie, the Rainmakers will support. I know. Just let me know. All right. We'll talk to you soon, Jamie.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jamie.
guys.
So good. What you just heard again was a clip from day 6 of our Rainmaker Challenge. Now, the Rainmaker Challenge is storytelling, like you just heard, but it's also very tactical, where we show you exactly how to use software to figure out what's selling well online. We actually show you scripts on how to connect with manufacturers to get it made. So, if you've ever had the dream to own a brand, even if you have no product ideas, this challenge is really the 7-step playbook to really make it happen. You can go to therainmakerchallenge.com and check it out.